Today's class will begin in 1 minute. To pay for today's session, be sure to click the Donate button.
Hey everyone, I'm Keri Hoyt. Welcome to your practice. So for today's practice, you'll need a couple of blocks and a strap if you have one. So just grab whatever you have at home and let's get started. So just find a comfortable seated space on your mat. Just any cross-legged posture, Sukhasana, maybe Siddhasana, depth pose. Or just sit comfortably. Okay? If you have a blanket at home, maybe you want to sit up on a blanket and just use that to kind of bring neutrality to the pelvis. Allows you to sit a little bit taller. Okay? Press the sitting bones into the mat or into the blanket. Relax your shoulders. And if it feels safe, let your eyes fall closed. And just for a few moments, start to connect with your breath. Noticing if there's any areas of tension that you might be hanging on or gripping in some way. Check in with the usual suspects. So relax the shoulders, relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. So I thought for our practice today we would do some heart openers, some shoulder work, some chest openers. And we'll do a little bit of hip stuff too. Maybe even starting to create your Ujjayi breath in and out through the nose. And just take a few moments here just to flip the switch. Okay. We all have some sort of demarcation, something that transition us from the outer environment to the inner world, the inner landscape. So whatever that is for you, whether it's your pranayama practice or your Ujjayi breath, or maybe just your awareness that you are breathing. For some, it might be a visualization. Or maybe for you, it's just anytime you roll out your sticky mat and sit down for your practice, that right there is that flip of the switch. Starts to rotate the consciousness. And start to check in a little bit more inward. And just for the next few moments, I'm just going to simply ask you to follow the inhales all the way to the top. And then follow your exhale all the way to the bottom. And if you have an intention that you'd like to set for your practice today, do that here. Remember, your intention is just your reason for showing up on your mat. And then I'll invite you to bring the hands together in front of the heart. And then big inhale, reaching the arms overhead, gathering up peace, love, happiness, joy, and gratitude. Palms together, exhale as you draw these things into your heart. And then allowing the hands just again to rest to the legs or to the lap. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, drop the chin toward the chest. So without bringing the shoulders or upper back with it, just lengthen the back of the neck. Still pressing into the sitting bones. Lift the heart to meet the chin. And then another round of breath here. Breathe into the back of the neck. See if you can't follow that stretch all the way down, just till you lose track of it. And then on an inhale, very gently lift the head. And then exhale, let that right ear find its way toward that right shoulder. And then just spend a few moments here. Breathe into the left side of the neck. And then if you want, you can welcome any movement. Just kind of getting curious about this stretch for you. Whether you reach that right hand up, catch the left side of the head. You can take this left arm out from the side, or whether it's straight out from the shoulder, maybe a little bit ways in front of you, or even open the chest. Start to get into the shoulders, the chest a little bit. You can even bring the fingertips to your mat or the floor next to you. Even roll the chin in toward that right chest or right collarbones. Just another couple of breaths to explore. And then on your next inhale, very gently lift the head. Good. And then bringing the hands back to the lap if they're not already. And we'll go to the other side. So inhale, find some space here. Exhale, let that left ear find its way toward the left shoulder. And then same thing on this side. Doesn't have to be exactly what you did on the first side. Okay, might be a good place to start. Whether you reach that left hand up, catch the right side of the head. Explore doing whatever feels good with that right arm. Okay, or maybe even rolling the chin down toward that left chest, left collarbone. Okay. Just welcome as much or as little movement here as feels good. Okay, necks are stubborn. They're not always the same one side to the other. Of course, neither are our hips or shoulders or anything else, but just breathe into wherever it is that you're feeling it. Let's take another round of breath here. And then full inhale, and then as you exhale, bring the hands back to the legs or the lap. As your inhale, lift the head. Good. And then pressing into both sitting bones, reach both arms up and overhead. And then turn the palms to face each other. Set the shoulders down, thumbs face the wall behind you. Take an inhale here, lengthen through the fingertips. As you exhale, bring that left hand to the right knee, right arm behind. Just simple twist, looking over that right shoulder. Relax your left shoulder. Press into the sitting bones. And then full exhale here, just allowing the head and neck to turn as far as it'll allow. And then on your inhale, untwist. Head and neck come back to center. The left arm, right arm follows chest, navel, belly. Good. Exhale. Take it up and over to the other side. Okay. And then press into the sitting bones. Find a little space, little length here. And then as you exhale, let that pivot come right through the ribs. Okay. So nothing happening in the lower back. Again, chill that left shoulder out, right shoulder as well. And then head and neck turn just as far as it can for you. Okay. Try to have that left hand that's behind you, not too far behind you, so that you're not leaning back into it. Shoulders stay right over the hips. So kind of think of a spiral staircase, right? So when you walk up a spiral staircase, you don't end up down the hall. You end up in the room, the floor right above it. Same thing with the shoulders. They're still right over the hips. And then inhale, untwist, head and neck come back to center, chest, ribs, belly. Then exhale, bring the left hand to the floor, stretch the right arm up and overhead. And then inhale, back to center. We'll take it up and over to the other side. Turn that left palm to face the direction of your side bend. Reach to the fingertips. Chest is revolved open. Good. And then inhale, back to center, reaching both arms up. Set the shoulders down. Again, palms in, thumbs back. And then as you inhale, just extend the spine forward. Okay. And then as you exhale, bring the hands to your mat, maybe the floor. And then just find a Sukhasana forward fold. So for you, maybe that means you're walking it out to the elbows or coming all the way forward. Forehead can go for the ground. It can go for your block if you have one handy. Again, doesn't matter how far you come forward. Okay. Take another round of breath here. And then on an inhale, walk the hands back, lift the chest, come on up. And now switch the crossing of the legs. And again, press into the sitting bones, find some length here. Inhale, reaching both arms up. Again, spin the palms to face each other, thumbs point to the wall behind you. Inhale, start to come forward. And as you exhale, again, bring the hands to the mat or to the floor. So if the hips are really tight for you, any given practice, okay, or maybe it's all of your practices, that's fine. Just give a little tuck to the chin. Okay? And then as your body tells you with that silent permission to proceed, just very easily, cautiously, maybe you're taking that forward fold a little deeper. Again, forehead can go for the ground, it can go for your block. You can go for your hands, whether you stack the fists or make a little forehead pillow with your hands. And then on an in-breath, walk the hands back, lift the chest, come on up. Good. And we're going to take it all the way down onto our back. So as you come down, keep your strap close by. We're not going to need it just yet, but you'll want it within arm's reach. Okay. So come all the way down. Legs are straight, about hip width apart. Coming into our reclined Tadasana. So think of your mountain pose if you were standing. So maybe press into the back of the elbows, back of the head. Inhale, lift the chest. Kind of snuggle the tips of the shoulder blades down the back. Arms alongside the body. Palms face the ceiling. And then press out through the feet. Just because they're not bearing any weight right now doesn't mean we want to lose Padabandha, that energy lock that we have at the arch of our feet. So spreading both sets of toes. Okay, so imagine if you were standing in your mountain pose. Reclined mountain pose, reclined Tadasana is just as strong. Okay, so without locking out the knees, but legs are active. And then bringing the hands together in front of the heart. And then inhale, sweep both arms overhead. Join the palms if you can or want to. And then rooting through the heels. Use your exhale. We're going to come all the way up to sit from here. Let the knees bend naturally as you come all the way up. And then lift the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana, upward hand salute, just seated. And then as you exhale, bring the hands to the floor on either side of your outer calves. Fold forward. Think of this as your Uttanasana. Feet are still flexed. Toes are still drawing back towards you. And then inhale, lift the chest, straighten the arms, look forward, half forward fold, flat back. Exhale, refold. And then as you inhale, lift the chest, start to unroll yourself back out onto your mat. So the arms slide down, legs straighten, coming into our reclined downward facing dog. Lift the feet, join the palms overhead. Good, take a breath here. Feet are active. And then as you exhale, we're going to lower the arms and the legs. Options here. It might be a good idea to bring the palms to the mat first and then press the palms into the floor. Use that to help you lower the legs. And now if you lower the legs straight, it can be a lot more challenging on the core if that's where your practice is at. Okay? Otherwise, bend the knees, start to lower the feet, or maybe even one at a time, bring the feet to the floor. Okay? So from wherever you're at, once you're all the way down, straighten the legs, palms up, press out through the feet, back into your reclined Tadasana. And we're going to do that again. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, coming all the way up. Let the knees bend as you come up. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the chest, straighten the arms, look forward. Exhale, refold. And then as you inhale, lift the chest, roll yourself back out onto your mat. Let the legs straighten out. Arms overhead, lift the feet, lift the legs. Your reclined downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Press up through the balls of the feet. Spread both sets of toes. And then lowering the arms and the leg at your level. Maybe palms come to the mat. Maybe legs are straight. Maybe you bend the knees. Maybe both feet touch the floor at the same time or one at a time. Okay. Again, last time. Take the legs straight. Back hip width apart. Palms forward. Active Tadasana. Inhale. Reach the arms overhead. Pressing the heels into your mat. Exhale, come all the way up controlled. Lift the arms, fingertips. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half forward fold. Lift the chest, flat back. Exhale, refold. And then inhale, lifting the chest. Start to unroll your spine back out onto your mat. Coming into your reclined downward facing dog. Good. Great for knee injuries too. If you need to avoid the up and down movement on your mat, this is a fantastic alternative just to kind of meet you where you are in your practice for whatever reason. Okay. Exhale, lowering the arms, lowering the legs, again at your level. Okay. And then from here, press the palms into the mat. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Just rock it out. Give yourself a hug. Okay, if it feels good to rock it out side to side, or maybe rolling up and down the spine. Maybe even inhale, forehead to knees, coming into Apanasana tuck pose. Maybe spend a breath or two here when you're ready to release this. As you exhale, roll the shoulders, the head back to the floor. Good. And now release the knees, set the feet to your sticky mat. Grab your strap, okay? And we're going to start with that right leg, keeping the left knee bent. So as you inhale, lift the head and chest, pick up that right foot, lasso the bottom of that right foot, and let's extend that right leg up. Okay. So we're going to start with this left knee bent foot to the floor to start, and I'll give you the option to play around with that side in a little bit. So for now, if you don't have a strap, towel works, arms of a sweatshirt or a hoodie works just fine. Okay. If you have a little bit more flexibility, possibly even taking 2 fingers of that right hand, catching the right big toe. Okay. If you've got a strap or a towel or a sweatshirt, bend the elbows so they're all the way to the floor. Okay. Or if it's maybe not quite long enough, do your best to draw the shoulder blades down toward the floor as if the backs of your arms and elbows were connected. Okay. And press up through that right foot. So you're flexing the foot. You can turn up the drama in the back of that leg, not necessarily with making that leg any straighter or encouraging that leg any closer to the chest, just by powerfully flexing that foot. Start there, okay? And then as you start to kind of gauge your flexibility or resistance in the back of that right leg, then you can bend the knee as much as you need to or can. Maybe you can straighten the leg when you've got a little bit more space created right there. If you've got a little bit more resistance, that's fine. Just lower the leg a little further away from you. For those of you that have maybe a little bit more flexibility in the back of the leg, or maybe even not yet, we're kind of all there. It's early on in our practice. Hammies are tight. They don't give for long, right? Maybe leg is vertical. Maybe leg might be even a little closer to you. Try not to press off that left foot, lifting your lower back or curling the pelvis off of your mat. Let your lower back be soft. Left foot barely active, just enough to keep it flat to your mat. Let's take another breath. And then back of that right leg. And if you want a little bit more here, straighten your bottom leg. Straighten that left leg out. Okay. If you're taking that left leg straight, press out through that left heel. Engage your left quadricep. Super active. Let's take another breath here. Relax the tongue. Again, check in with the shoulders. Maybe remember shoulders, tongue. They're kind of the very first place that responds to added tension or sensation. Okay? And now take both ends of your strap or whatever you're using into your right hand. Maybe bring the left palm to the front of that left hip, spin the right toes out, heel in, and then just start to open this leg out to the side. Okay? And you might lose sight of my whole leg or whole foot here as it comes out to the side, maybe off view. But think about spinning the toes down, heel up. Another option here, again, if you have a block, you can always wedge a block to your outer right hip, right thigh. And what that does is it kind of serves as a little bumper, and it allows you to focus more on that external rotation of the leg, spinning the toes down, heel up, rather than worrying about holding the weight of the leg out there. Bring your right elbow to the floor. Whether you're using a block or not, left leg is still active. And now breathe into the inseam of your right leg, left leg too. Okay. Face is soft. Connect with your breath. Good. And then use your inhale. Press the foot into the strap, strap into the foot. Let's bring that right leg back up to center. And now straighten your bottom leg almost all the way or all the way if it's not already. If it still has a little bit of a bend in it, that's fine, okay? Let's catch both ends of the strap into your left hand. Start to bring this right leg just a little ways across the body. Not so far really that it becomes a twist, particularly if you've got anything going on in your lower back today, that's fine. I don't even want the back of that right hip to lift. Okay. For those of you that have a little more flexibility, your lower back is okay, sure, go ahead and roll all the way over onto that outer left hip. Bring that right foot closer to the floor. Okay. And now the challenge here is tight IT bands. They're kind of like hamstrings, totally different piece of machinery there, but the same in which they don't give for long. They're very tight in most of us to some varying degree, okay? So as you bring that leg a little further over, what might happen is that right hip might want to hike up toward that right shoulder. So maybe just slide your right thumb right into that hip crease there. Encourage that right hip to roll down and away, okay? And then if you want a little bit more even still, you can kind of draw up on your strap a little bit. Good, let's take a breath here. And then use your inhale. Let's bring that right leg back up to center. Rebend your left knee, foot to the floor. And then unlasso the strap from that right foot. You can set your strap on your belly or just right next to you. Let's hug both knees into the chest again. Okay. Remember Supta Padangusthasana, our reclined big toe pose here is what we've been practicing. When we get into bringing the leg across the body, if you've got a knee replacement or hip replacement on that side or both sides, just be mindful of the midline of your body and just kind of let your body guide you. If you're used to doing postures that you are comfortable and it's safe for you to bring that leg a little further across the midline. Otherwise, if you're not quite sure, just keep it kind of right in line with your belly button or even a little less so, okay? And now take the strap, inhale, lift the head and chest, strap the bottom of that left foot. Let's straighten that left leg up. Bend your elbows so they're all the way to the floor. Okay. Same thing here. Press up through that left heel, flex the foot. Then you can kind of gauge what's happening in the back of that leg, whether that knee is bent, big bend or a little bend, whether that leg is straight-ish, okay, or whether that leg is a little bit lower, maybe a little bit closer to your chest or somewhere in the middle. Okay. Breathe here. I really want you to focus on breathing into the back of that left leg. Okay. And maybe that means a little bit for you, just kind of exploring straightening that left knee a little bit more. And if something changed, back off. Okay. If you notice the shoulders tensed up or the breath became choppy or erratic or shallow, you blown past your edge. Okay. Remember, your breath is always your best gauge for how your body is responding and faring in a posture. Okay. And then if you did on the other side, straighten your bottom leg. Same thing here. Right leg is active. Engage your right quadricep. Press up through that left heel. Let's take another round of breath here. Right foot is active. Okay. Pada Bandha is engaged there. And then take both ends of the strap into your left hand. Spin the left toes out, heel in. And then just start to open this left leg out to the side. Okay? If you did on the other side, you can certainly wedge a block to that outer left thigh, left hip. Bend your left elbow so it's all the way to the floor. And this right hand serves as a good anchor to that front of that left or right hip. For those of you that have maybe a little bit more advanced practice, you can always take that right arm out to the side, palm down. Okay? Take a breath here. Again, breathe into the inseam of that left leg, even out through the inseam of that right leg. Good. And then use your inhale. A lot of core work here to bring that left leg back up to center. And then straighten your bottom leg all the way or almost all the way. Okay. Catch both ends of the strap into that right hand. And then just start to bring this left leg a little ways across the body, however far is good for you. Okay. And again, for those of you that can or want to, you can certainly roll all the way over onto that outer right hip. As long as the lower back's okay, just be mindful of that left hip now wanting to hike up toward that left shoulder. Soften your face. Good. And then on an in-breath, let's bring that left leg back up to center. Good. Rebend your right knee, foot to the floor. And then unstrap your left foot, and you can set your strap aside. Once again, let's hug both knees into the chest. Okay, whether the forehead is lifted to the knees or the shoulders and the head, stay to the floor. Just a couple of breaths here. Good. And then from here, you can either rock all the way up to sit, or you can roll over to your right side and roll into your hands and press yourself up from there. We're going to make our way onto all fours. Okay? So step the hands forward, knees back. And then hands are just a touch forward to the shoulders. Remember, if you're to the palms, middle fingers face forward, thumbs kind of angle in toward each other. You can certainly modify for the wrist for any reason here, whether it's popping up on fingertips. If you're taking knuckles, that's fine. Inner wrists face each other, okay? And then press the floor away. Take an inhale here. Then as you exhale, tuck the chin. Start to round the upper back, middle back, lower back into your cat stretch. And when it's time for your inhale, just reverse the arch in your spine. So pelvis rolls forward, sitting bones roll up toward the ceiling. Drop the belly, lift the chest, look forward. Good. Exhale, again, tuck the chin, round the upper back, middle back, lower back. Good. And then inhale, pelvis forward, belly drops, heart lifts, look forward. And then just connect with your breath here. We've got a couple more rounds. And then for you, if the shoulders are feeling it or the hips want a little bit more movement, maybe just kind of roll it out to the hips or the shoulders. Just close your eyes and move as your body wants you to move. Some of you may even be finding your way into a child's pose at the bottom of that exhale, or maybe even following your inhale all the way into a gentle upward facing dog. Got some time to play here, okay? Just connect with your breath. Good. So as you round your upper back, middle back, lower back, tail drops. And then as you inhale, just wave the breath through. Pelvis starts to direct that movement. Spine knows where to go. And at the very top of your next inhale, rooting through the palms, spread the fingers, curl the toes. Keep that forward tilt of the pelvis in your cow tilt pelvis so that when you lift up into your downward facing dog, sitting bones already lead the way. Okay? Just the very act of using the power of our glutes and our hamstrings to power us up, or power that lift up into downward facing dog, can sometimes pull the pelvis down into more of that cat stretch pelvis. So we want to come into our downward facing dog from a forward tilt pelvis. And then as you exhale, lift the hips up and back. Let the knees be the last thing to straighten, if at all, okay? Again, we've done a little bit of love for the hammies this morning or this afternoon or evening or whenever it is that you're practicing. So for you, maybe down dog, your legs are a little bit straighter, okay? If you've got anything going on in the lower back or hamstrings are still a little tighter, bent knee down dog is fine, okay? But just kind of feel your way into this, whether it's kind of swiveling on the balls of the feet, dropping the heels side to side, maybe pedaling out through the legs. But press the floor away. Press your chest back towards your thighs, looking back toward your ankles or toward the wall behind you. Okay? And I want you to think about, maybe even take a peek forward looking at the hands, rooting down through the entire span of the palm. So a lot of times in our downward facing dog, particularly the first few down dogs of any given practice, we have a tendency to shift a lot of the weight to that outer rim of the palm, maybe outer rim of the thumb. So think about rooting down through the base of your index finger, base of your thumb, okay? What that does is it internally rotates the arms, spirals the forearms down towards your mat, stabilizes the shoulders. They can take it, okay? If you allow that weight bearing to happen to the outer edge of the palm, destabilizes the shoulders. It's got to shift the support and the weight somewhere. It's either going to take it to your lower back or it's going to take it to your wrists, okay? Shoulders can take it as long as you root down through the entire span of both palms, okay? So from your downward facing dog, again, chest presses back, thigh bones draw back, looking back toward the wall behind you. And then when you're ready, looking forward, walk, step, or jump both feet up to the front of the mat. Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. So maybe hands to the shins. Use that to extend the spine. Maybe it's hands to the blocks or fingertips to the floor for some. Okay. Exhale, refold, bend the knees as you need. Press to stand, inhale, coming all the way up, reaching the arms up out and overhead. And then exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Good. And then set that down. Find your mountain pose, this time standing. Palms and biceps spin forward. Ears in alignment over the shoulders. Heart lifts. Okay. Without puffing the front ribs forward, think about lifting the top of the sternum to the bottom of the chin. Find a neutral pelvis. Okay. So neither we're doing a forward tilt pelvis. We're definitely not tucking the tailbone. Okay. Inhale, reaching both arms up. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive, or draw the hands through heart center. Try not to pull all the weight back into the heels here. A little mindful big toe adjustment, even through your half forward fold as you inhale, length. Exhale, refold. A little bend in the knee. Step that right foot far back into your mid lunge. Release to the right knee. Release to the top of that right foot as you inhale into your Anjaneyasana. Maybe arms up alongside the ears, palms face each other. Set the shoulders down, okay? Or maybe you're here, hands to the top of that left knee. Back the torso, the shoulders up so they're right over the hips. Take an inhale here. And then from wherever your hands are at, exhale, bring the hands back to the floor on either side of that left foot. Curl the right toes under. Pick up that right knee. Exhale, step the left foot back into your downward facing dog. Again, chest presses back. Lift the sitting bones, tipping that pelvis forward. Exhale, release to the knees. Sitting back into your extended child's pose, Utthita Balasana. And allowing the forehead, if you can, to come all the way to your mat. Keep the arms active and extended forward. Coming into Cobra, Bhujangasana from Ashtapranam, nose, chin, chest. Okay? So looking forward, use your inhale to start. Lift the seat up and away from the heels. Wrap the elbows to or towards your mat, nose, chin, chest. Lift the front of the shoulders up and away from the floor. Hug the elbows in. Use your inhale to lift the chest, whether it's low cobra or high cobra. Elbows stay bent. They're also hugging in. They never leave your shirt. Okay? Whether you press through hands and knees first before down dog or directly into your downward facing dog, your choice. Okay? Once you're there from down dog, looking forward, bring that right foot forward between the hands, however you need to get it there safely, okay? Exhale, left knee to the floor, top of that left foot. Inhale, lift the chest and the arms into your Anjaneyasana. Sink the hips, lift the heart. Again, hands to the top of that right knee is perfect, okay? Take a breath here. Exhale, hands to the floor. Stepping that left foot forward to meet the right, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold, lengthen. Exhale, refold. Press to stand, inhale, coming all the way up. If you're taking that little back bend at the top, lift the sternum, okay? We're not pressing the pelvis forward or squeezing the glutes. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, reaching both arms up again. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Swan dive or draw the hands through heart center. Inhale, lengthen. Keep this length as you exhale, refold. Good. Stepping that right foot far back, turn and ground that right foot. Okay. Reach the right fingertips forward, press through the feet as you inhale into Virabhadrasana 2. Arms out from the shoulders, palms down. Good. Take a breath here, find some length. So the shoulders are right over the hips. And then take a look at that front foot, front knee. Make sure that knee and shin are vertical. Okay? So if you allow that arch to collapse, Padabandha to lose its awakening there, that knee is going to drift inward. So think about lining up the center of your kneecap with your second and third toe. Okay? Drishti, your focus gaze down the front fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale, bend that left elbow. Bring the hand or the elbow to the top of that left thigh. Reach this right arm up and overhead and extend. Press the elbow into the top of the leg to revolve the chest open. And then turn that right palm or that top arm palm to face your bottom toes. Take a breath here. If you're looking up, exhale, look down. Press through the feet. Use your inhale back into your warrior 2. Nice. Inhale. And then on your exhale, bring the hands back to the mat. Swivel back up onto the ball of that right foot. Step that left foot back, downward facing dog. Press the chest back, draw the thighs back. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release to the knees, sitting back into your child's pose. Okay. We're going to take a couple of breaths here. So if it's comfortable for you to keep the arms extended forward in Utthita Balasana, or drawing the arms back alongside the body, palms up by the feet, letting the shoulders, the elbows just kind of slump down toward your mat. Okay. And And then when you're ready on your next inhale, stretch both arms forward. We're going to come into Bhujangasana, throw that nose, chin, chest transition again. Okay. When you're ready, looking forward, inhale, nose, chin, chest, low cobra, high cobra. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog, however you need to get there safely. Good. And then when you're ready, from dog pose, looking forward, stepping that right foot forward between the hands. Turn and ground that left foot. Okay. Reach the left fingertips forward. Root through the legs. Use your inhale. Start to circle that left arm around as you come into Virabhadrasana here. Okay. Good. Nice. And again, arms out from the shoulders, palms down. Good. Take a look at that knee. Make sure that knee and shin are vertical. Good. Relax the shoulders, drishti down your front fingertips. Good. And now bend that elbow, either forearm or hand comes to the top of that thigh. Reach this top arm up and overhead and extend. Again, spin the chest open, pressing into your bottom elbow to keep that ear from sinking into the shoulder. Good. And then inhale here. If you're looking up, exhale, look down towards your toes. Pressing through the feet as you inhale, back into your warrior two on this side. Good. Nice. Take an inhale. Exhale, windmill down, hands to the floor. Swivel back up onto the ball of that back foot. And then step your front foot back, downward facing dog. Good. Press the chest back. And you can stay here. You can release to the knees into your child's pose, any variation, or take a vinyasa if you'd like. Okay? Even moving through nose, chin, chest into your Bhujangasana Cobra. Okay. Good. And then just finding your way back into your downward facing dog. And then from down dog, look forward, walk, step, or jump, both feet up to the front of the mat. Inhale, length, half forward fold. Keep this length as you exhale, refold, bend the knees as you need. Press to stand, inhale, coming all the way up. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Good. And then step one foot back, pivot so that you can easily face your device or your iPad or phone or whatever it is that you're using, coming into Prasarita Padottanasana, our wide angle forward fold. Okay, so the feet are wide, that's relative, right? Good rule of thumb is maybe it's your legs distance apart or whatever you can manage. Another rule of thumb is maybe taking the arms out from the shoulders. If you were to kind of drop a line from the fingertips, should line up with that pinky toe side. Okay, good. Bring the hands to the hips. Press into the feet, root through Padabandha, lift the chest. We're going to come forward right from the hips. So again, try to avoid the temptation of pulling all the weight back into the heels. I'll remind you of that once we come forward here in our Prasarita Padottanasana. So from the hips, start to extend the chest forward. Okay? Hands can stay here as long as you need them here. Maybe when the chest is parallel to the floor, release the hands so that they're underneath the shoulders, whether it's fingertips, maybe hands to a couple of blocks or a block even, at whatever height is relevant for you. Okay. Good. And then as we start to explore coming maybe a little bit deeper into our wide angle forward fold, that's when we start to push the hamstrings a little bit beyond what they're willing to give us just yet. So you'll find that you may start to pull the weight back into the heels a little bit, okay? Think of a mindful big toe adjustment. So pressing the pads of your big toes into your mat, just like you're pressing down two buttons. Good. Length through the back of the neck. Lift the hip and groin creases. Any variations here you want to play with. Okay, got a couple of breaths here. And then walking the hands back out so they're underneath the shoulders if you were exploring different variations of the posture. Okay, and then maybe turn the toes out, heels in, bend the knees, bring the hands to the hips, root through the legs as you inhale, lift the chest, come all the way back up. Good. And now pivoting on the heels, point the right toes to face me. Turn the left toes to face that short edge of your mat. Grab a block if you have one, and then place that block at its highest height to the inside of that left ankle. Key alignment piece here is heel to heel. So if you were to draw a line from that left heel, should intersect with that right heel. Okay? Take the arms out from the sides. Take your drishti down the left fingertips. So think of being along a wall. We can only move laterally. So this left sitting bone reaches back toward that right hip, right heel. Reach the left fingertips forward until you can't get any more length out of these left ribs. And then bring that left hand to the block. Press into the block to open and expand through the chest. And then position the head and neck so it's comfortable. Might be looking up toward that right thumb. Maybe it's looking forward or at a diagonal. Maybe you're looking down. Okay? And then any variation you want to play with in your triangle, whether you take a half bind here, Ardha Baddha Trikonasana. For those of you that have the availability and the flexibility in that inner left thigh and hamstring, you want to take full bound triangle, you've got some time to do that. Keep pressing into that block, again at whatever height is relevant for you. I would encourage you to use a block, even if you've been practicing a long time. Triangle is a pretty comfortable posture. Okay. Remember, props they're not for beginners. They don't make it easier. They just help fit the posture into our body a little bit better. Take a breath here. If you've got a half a bind or full bind, reach that top arm up. Exhale, looking down towards your left toes. Little micro bend in that left knee. Use your inhale. Press through the feet, root through the legs to come all the way back up. And now as the shoulders start to come back in alignment, then slide the hips back underneath. Okay, we'll take that second side. Have block will travel. Pull the left toes in. Point the right toes toward the front of your mat. Okay. And again, place that block to whatever height is relevant for you. Arms out from the shoulders. So front of the body stays open in triangle. Think of everything being on one plane here, okay? Sink this right sitting bone back toward that left heel. Reach the right fingertips forward. Bring that hand to the block. And then use that block to spin the chest open. So think of these bottom right ribs tucking forward and under. These left ribs are drawing back and down, okay? A lot of space here, okay? Again, position the head and neck so it's free for you. Relax your tongue, your face. Smile, it's yoga. Okay, and then whatever you did on the first side, do the same here. Good. Don't lose track of that little toe side on that left foot. Okay, Pada Bandha's active through both. And then if you're in a bind, not that kind of bind, taking a bind, reach that top arm up. Exhale, looking down. Again, root through the legs, press through the feet as you come all the way back up. Sliding the hips back forward, shoulders back. Good, nice. And then just set your block aside. And then toe heel the feet together until you can step or jump together. Let's come back toward the front of our mat. Back into your Tadasana mountain pose. Whether the feet are hip width, whether they're big toes together, heels slightly apart, or the feet are together, totally up to you. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Keep the length as you exhale, refold, stepping both feet back into your downward facing dog. Stay here, take a vinyasa. Okay, if you're taking a vinyasa, inhale, shift forward, come into plank pose. Extend the whole body, chest, crown of the head forward. Okay, whether it's a halfway hover or releasing to the knees. And then inhaling either into your low cobra, high cobra, or upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, find your way into your downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Exhale, release to the knees. And then come to stand on the knees and shins. Bring the hands to the lower spine. Tuck the toes under, okay? Ustrasana, camel. Knees are hip width. And then just start to lift the heart without pressing the hands into the lower back, causing the pelvis to drive forward, thighs or glutes to engage. Just start to lift the heart, okay? Hands are just there in support of the lower back. Little bit of drawing the elbows, shoulder blades together. Okay, if there's anything going on in the head and neck for you, that's fine. You don't even have to get the head and neck, the cervical spine involved. Just keep the chin tucked forward. If it's safe for you, maybe you can allow the eyes to walk up the wall, maybe to the ceiling, maybe even looking toward the wall behind you. For those of you that feel that you have the space in your back bend, maybe reaching one or both hands back, connect to the heels. Keep lifting the heart, lifting the heart. Okay. Option 3 is, again, if you have the space in your back bend, can easily connect to the heels, maybe taking it a little bit deeper by releasing to the tops of the feet. Good. Take a breath here. Good. To release, bring the hands back to your lower back first. Then use your inhale, bring the chin forward. And then just start to pull the front ribs back, bringing the shoulders over the hips. Tuck the chin. Hands to the floor. Either walking it out to all fours into your cat-cow stretches, or sit back into any variation of Balasana, child's pose. Okay. You can even do a little bit of both, either cat-cow or child's pose. Got a few breaths here. Just whatever posture you need as a counter posture from your back bend. Good. And then either from cat-cow or from your child's pose, take out seat on the heels coming into Vajrasana, Thunderbolt. Okay. Cozy this up as you need to, whether it's a blanket to the back of the knees, sitting on a block, or just releasing tops of the feet, ankles to your mat. Draw the lower belly in. Lengthen your tailbone down toward the earth. Okay. So when our quads, our knees, even tops of the ankles and feet aren't quite so up for this, we have a tendency to pull one of these. Okay. See if you can't allow the weight of your hips and your torso and your upper body to release into the heels and ankles. Shoulders over the hips, palms to the thighs. And that's what I mean, cozy this up as you need to. Use your blanket, use your blocks. If this doesn't work for whatever reason, have a seat cross-legged. Okay. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, cross that right elbow under the left. Take your Garudasana arms or give yourself a hug. Inhale, lift the elbows off the chest so that they're shoulder level. Relax the tongue. And broaden across your shoulder blades. And close your eyes or take your drishti just beyond your forearms. Take a breath here. Little lift in the fingertips, elbows. Exhale, undo the arms, opposite side. Left elbow under the right. Either give yourself a hug or take your Eagle Garudasana arms. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, settle in here. Relax the tongue again. Good. And then on your inhale, little lift in the fingertips, the elbows. And then exhale, unwind the arms, open the chest, Devyasana, Goddess Warrior arms. Draw the elbows back, palms forward, spread the fingers. Good, and then as you exhale, just bring the hands in front of the heart. Good. And then walk yourself back out to all fours. Good. And then inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, look forward in your cow stretch. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the upper back, middle back, lower back. Sit back into your extended child's pose. Again, arms extended forward. Forehead goes for the block, it goes for your mat. Keep the arms extended forward, root through the palms. Kind of think of down dog hands, just as active. We're going to come one more time into Cobra Bhujangasana. So looking forward, nose, chin, wrap the elbows in, chest. Okay. Extend the spine forward, legs out behind you. Inhale, hug the elbows in, lift the chest, low cobra or high cobra. Shoulders are drawing down. Elbows never leave your shirt. Keep them hugging in here. As you press yourself up, sit back, find your child's pose, any variation, and rest. And then whenever you're ready, use your inhale, and then come back to all fours. Have a seat on your mat. Grab your blocks, okay? If you have 2 blocks, that'll work. If you have just a bolster, maybe even just a roll blanket, okay? We're gonna come and do a chest opener. So with your blocks, place that top block wherever you want your head to be at that medium height so that the broad, long edge of your block is parallel to the top short edge of your mat. Second block's going to go perpendicular to that, okay? Maybe about 3/4 of a block's distance away from that block that's going to support your head. And you're going to have a seat little ways in front of that bottom block. Let's start with this height. I'll give you the opportunity to take it up in the nosebleed section if you want in a little bit, but let's try here, okay? And then just kind of use your hands alongside the edges of your block to guide yourself all the way down so that your shoulder blades snuggle in really nicely around those top 2 corners of your block. Block that's underneath your head kind of supports that back part of your skull so that your forehead is slightly higher than your chin, okay? And again, let your shoulders, your arms relax. You'll be able to tell, even if you shift a little bit side to side, where those corners of your block kind of line up perfectly in between your shoulder blades, okay? Take the legs straight if you want. You can bend the knees. You can even walk the feet a little wider than hip width apart. Let the knees drop in all the way together. Conversely, you can even take Supta Baddha Konasana. Bend the knees, soles of the feet together. Take a hip opener. Okay? But you've got some time here just to enjoy this heart opener. Let the arms come out to the sides, palms up. Okay, place a blanket atop of your mat if you're on a colder surface and you want to keep the arms a little more comfortable, a little warmer. Let your eyes close. Connect with your breath. And change it up with the legs when they tell you that they need to move. Notice your breath at the front body. Feel your belly expand, your ribs expand. Got a lot of space for the breath through the lungs, the chest. Even shoulder opener here. And now you can create this very similar back bend, lower lumbar spine, back bend, a little bit of upper back stuff, with a rolled blanket or a bolster, even some pillows as long as your head is supported. And I mentioned nosebleed section, right? So also for those of you that maybe have a little bit more space in your back for a deeper back bend, maybe want a little bit more heart opening, shoulder opening. When I mean this is the nosebleed section, I mean it. Okay, so if you flip your blocks kind of up to their next level, so now this block underneath your head is at its highest height. This one comes to that narrower edge on that mid-height there. Same position. You're going to come back down on it again. Okay? If you're making any adjustments, you'll know pretty quickly if this is too much. Okay? Everything will tell you. Allow your elbows to connect to the floor. Let your heart open. Okay, so we're going to settle in here. Wherever here is for you. Just a few moments. Connect with your breath. Nice, slow, deep inhales and exhales. Relax your tongue. And whenever you're ready, just position the feet so they're back on your sticky mat, knees bent. Remember, you're probably up a little higher than usual. So use your right elbow to kind of catch you as you roll to your right off of your blocks into your hands. Okay? Just enough that you can get your blocks out of the way. And then grab whatever you need for Shavasana. Okay? Whether it's a blanket or pillow or bolster to the back of the knees. Okay? Or maybe it's just you and your mat. Let's come all the way down onto our back. And then from here, again, inhale, lift the chest, snuggle the tips of the shoulder blades down the back. And let the arms come to rest alongside the body, palms up. Maybe press out through the heels. And then just relax the legs from the front of the hips, thighs, knees, so much so that the feet just naturally turn outward. Making any adjustments that you need to make so that you're comfy and warm. Adjust your clothing, adjust your body as you need to. And again, allow your eyes to fall closed. Relax your face, your cheeks, your jaw. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your torso, your legs. Just be heavy. I'm grateful for this wonderful tool of yoga that we have, this practice. And allow yourself now time to rest in Shavasana until I call you back. very slowly start to bring your attention back to your breath. And use your breath to extend your awareness outward, becoming aware of your physical body lying on the floor, practicing Shavasana. And very gradually deepening the breath. And when you're ready, maybe wiggle the fingers, move the toes some. It feels good to take a big inhale, stretch the arms overhead, point and flex through the feet. Maybe bend the knees, bring it in for a hug, whatever feels good as you're finding your way back. Take your time. And very gradually making your way over to your right side. And use your left palm. Gently press yourself up when you're ready. And again, sitting comfortably on your mat, maybe with the eyes still closed. And I'll invite you to bring the hands together in front of the heart once again. Bow the gaze in gratitude for this time spent on your mat and the dedication to your beautiful practice. And my heart bows to the light in yours. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, you guys. I'll see you next.